Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. Today is Tech Day. And you know something that's really ironic? They left the non-techie person in charge of the Tech Diva Weekly. So I'm going to start today with and I have it's so good to see you. How you doing? I got a message. We're going to be here for a hot minute. I just started the show. Did you want to do the this week in tech? Are you ready? I have it up if you don't.
Yeah, you can go ahead and start, and I will.
Okay, jump in. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Hi, everybody. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. I'm here today with my co host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So sit back, relax. We're getting ready to talk tech in English. And we're going to start with this week in tech history. So I'm going to start with July 19th, 2000. Apple introduces 4G Q Power Macintosh. For the first time of introduction, it was one of the smallest desktop computers ever produced. So, we're downsizing, getting that big computer getting that mainframe out of our living room. Now, not considered a commercial success, but it did find a small, dedicated following, and it was a foreshadowing of the future of Apple designs. And it just seems like it was so long ago, but it was only 2000.
Right.
July 18th, 1968, Intel. Now, my brother worked for them for quite a while. So, Robert, I can't pronounce his name, Nochi, and Andy and Gordon incorporate Intel in Santa Clara, California to build microprocessors. Their
Right.
first processor, the 4004, was released in 1971. That's the year I came out of college. Don't tell nobody. For you for use in calculators. IBM's choice of Intel 8088 processor for use in the IBM PC led to Intel's emergence as the premier manufacturer of processors still to this day. And I can remember that Berg Electronics used to supply them with microchips.
Mhm.
Eventually, they bought them out, and that's how my brother came to work for Intel. At any rate, that's a whole nother story in my personal life. Moving on. Apollo 8 and Soyuz 19 successfully dock in orbit. This is July 17th, 1975. The astronauts and the cosmonauts shake hands. This marks the first time in history that spacecraft for two nations dock in space. Now, you know what I want you to see? I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I find this just amazing. This picture of these two cosmonauts. Can you see that, guys?
Yeah, I can see it
It's
now.
like you're in a wound. Do you see?
No, like and it's all like.
Yeah, like they folded up in a wound somewhere. It is tight in there. You better be able to get along. And I'm thinking, did they have a language barrier traveling that up front and personal? Okay. At any rate, because that's really personal. You'd want to have some Altoids on you if you're grabbing somebody's face like that. Okay. July 17th, 1970, brown box demonstrated by Magnavox VP. So Ralph Breyer demonstrates the video game system he invented, simply called the brown box. That's very imaginative. To Magnavox Engineering, Production, and Marketing Management in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Previously, Bear had demoed the brown box to many other TV manufacturers, including RCA, GE, Zenith, Sylvania, and Magnavox. Magnavox themselves, without any, and none of them took on a licensing agreement with this guy. A licensing agreement with RCA was written but canceled in March of that year. It was this demo with Magnavox VP of marketing present that would eventually lead to the creation of the future home video game system, the Magnavox Odyssey, and the birth of the video game industry. Now, friend, this is 1970. Was that 40 years ago or so, or 50 years?
It's been a while.
Yes. So the deal in 2020, it'll be 50 years. So here's the deal. How many people turned him down? Do you understand what I'm saying? I want our audience to understand that just because you've been turned down does not mean that you need to turn it off. You need you need to keep going, because somewhere in there is your yes. And it could be the very next person. And that yes is so big that you can't even fathom it. The video game industry in a little brown box. So just because it's not packaged perfectly or looking like it's, going to eventually, what is it eventually will evolve into, does not mean you do not have something good. Okay. Okay. First photograph of a star, July 17, 1850. The first photograph of a star is taken at the Harvard Observatory. The star photographer was Vega in Lyra constellation, the second brightest star in the northern hemisphere. So we have been able to see beyond our natural abilities to other galaxies since 1850. Did you ever really think about that?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Hey Terry, how you doing? We get TJ in the stream here.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, and she has keys to the house too.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just saying you got keys to the house too, so
Oh, okay.
Which means you can bring yourself in and out as you want.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. How are you ladies doing on this hot Friday? We are hot here in New York. It's gonna get hotter.
Well, we're only it's only 8:33 here, so we haven't actually heated up yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're expecting...
It's a really nice morning over here. It's not warm at all.
Oh yeah, it was nice this morning, but I feel it starting to crank up. So
yeah, and they say you guys have been having a heat wave. So
they had a little mini something on Saturday, but it wasn't a heat, it wasn't hot. It was like 80.
Oh, okay.
There was some kind of transformer fire or something,
oh,
manhole something. But the heat wave is starting now.
Because the blackout.
Yeah, it was some kind of transformer cord or something. It wasn't hot on Saturday, so there was no heat wave.
Oh my!
But we're having it today.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about the transformer. That's
they fixed it.
Good.
It was fixed on Saturday.
Same day. Okay, they were not playing. They don't.
No,
play
the police department here and fire and services like Con Ed, they don't, because it was so much backlash. Yes. So they know they got to get it done. Like they get it done. Like done.
Oh my goodness. Well, we got a few more headlines here on this day in tech history, and then we'll jump in with you guys' headlines.
Okay.
Apollo, did you want to jump in, Fran?
No, I'm listening.
Okay. Apollo 11 heads for the moon. Hold on a moment. You're going to have to jump in here. I've got something I got to answer here. Hold on. Let me mute myself.
Hold on a minute. Okay, this day in tech history. Okay. Intel was founded. She did the Apollo, brown box, the first photograph of a star. She did that. Apollo 11 heads for the moon. July 16th, 1969, Apollo 11 launched from Cape Kennedy, Florida, on the way to becoming the first mission to land men on the moon. Or did we really?
Yes, we did. Because we're using the reflectors or whatever from somewhere. If we didn't, we did a hell of a job.
Oh, no, we did. You have the people that say it was all the TV set and all of that, but you have
Whatever.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they had someone on the news the other day talking about he was actually the engineer and he could look down, and he was talking about the view of the earth and how we should take better care of it, having seen it from that height.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So yeah, I believe they went. Okay.
I'm not saying we didn't. I'm just,
we did, because look at all the technology we've gotten since that moon landing.
The satellites and the reflectors that were
everything came. A lot of products, a lot of tech things came from the moon landing. All of the like the suit that they had to make and the material, the fuel they use in the rocket, all of those things came out of technology came from those things that had to be created to do
in order to make it happen.
To do it, to make it happen. So it happened now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You gotta ignore the I don't want to call
theorists.
The theorists.
The temporarily insane.
Okay.
I'm gonna be nice. Be nice. Be nice.
Okay.
Do you want me to finish? You got it.
Yes. So let's talk about the Nintendo releases Famicom. Nintendo releases their Famicom system, short for Family Computer. Hello. In July 15th, 1983. In Japan, the Famicom could be slightly modified with a copy protection system, a redesigned chassis, a front-loading cartridge mechanism, and released in North America just over 2 years later as the Nintendo Entertainment System, known as NES. Oh, so you could build your own system?
No, not now.
Well, back in the day, because it says you could modify it. Anyway, the Famicom NES system will become one of the most influential game systems ever produced, making Nintendo the premier company in the video game industry during the late 1980s and early 90s, picking up the mantle where Atari left off. Oh, so if you leave the marketplace, somebody's gonna fill your space, guys. First Mars flyby. Okay, I think this happened too, Fran. July 14, 1965, NASA's Mariner 4 becomes the first spacecraft to perform a successful flyby of Mars and the first to send back photos of another planet from deep space. The photographs are the first showing details of Mars' surface, including extensive catering.
Cratering.
Thank you. Catering. I'm hungry.
Cratering.
I'm hungry.
Cratering.
I'm sticking to my story. I'm not going to Mars.
Not going to Mars? You don't want to go?
Mm-hmm.
I heard they had a couple of extra seats, but they're a couple of $1 million a piece. I'm waiting for the frequent flyer program. Okay, so I can use my points.
Not going to Mars.
Red code worms its way into the internet. July 13th, 2001. The code red worm is released into the internet, targeting Microsoft's 2S web server. Code Red had a significant effect on the internet due to the speed and efficiency of its spread. Much of this was due to the fact that it was often enabled by default to many installations in Windows NT and Windows 2000. However, Red Code also affected many other systems with web servers, mostly by way of side effect, exacerbating the overall impact of the worm. ensuring its place in history among the many malware outbreaks infecting Windows systems in the late 90s and 2000s. Did that affect you, Terry, when you were working in government? Did that red code?
Code red.
I'm sorry, I was looking at something. What was it? It was
code red.
It was a code red virus.
What year was it?
Late 1990s and early 2000s.
Probably. I don't. I'm
not
recalling it. But probably.
I know the government used Windows, so we used Windows a lot.
They're still using Windows, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
We're not going to talk about that. I already said that they, whatever level private industry is on, the government is 2 steps back, not forward.
So,
go ahead, Fran.
No, I'm just looking at. I was just reading that. So that's because I think we did the Final Fantasy last week, so we're good.
Okay. So that's this day in tech history. This week in tech history.
Alfredo is back. He's been on assignment somewhere. So hey, Alfredo.
Yeah, he's an Amazon guy.
Yeah, Ibrahim Mindy is over on Periscope. And I'm still figuring out some stuff with Periscope because their traffic monitoring is different, right, TJ?
Yes.
Okay.
So remember, Periscope is Twitter,
right? And their thing is a little different than Facebook's and who are these? Facebook.
LinkedIn is Instagram. Their little API is different, and it behaves a little differently when you're using an encoder. So, but
right, but I'm saying, like I guess the etiquette on each of the platforms needs to be discussed because this person said, "Can I get a follow?" And I'm like, "Why are you?"
We don't do that.
Yeah, and that's in Periscope. And I was like, "This is not how."
See, the thing, Periscope has a lot of bots and trolls. So that's why Periscope, I would, unless it's a legitimate a comment, just ignore because they just want attention.
Exactly. Hey, Pat Murray, Pat and Alfredo. So, this was just a really interesting. I think we need to talk about that type of thing. The type of behavior you can expect on each platform so people can be prepared and not freaked out.
Right. Well, what I have to say about that, how I feel about it, if you're doing live streaming, regardless of the platform, you have to be open to having people come and give a dissenting argument or say something about you personally. So my thought is, if that you can't handle that kind of scrutiny, then don't do live streaming. What you have to do is you sticking to a script. You, like, I heard I was watching Maureen Stephenson. She's blog age. She does the WordPress back end hosting and stuff, and she was saying what was she saying? She was saying a couple things, but the fact is that when you're on, you have to have, this is what she storyboards before. She discovered that she has the storyboard before she does her videos. Like, she storyboards, which is just planning. You can call it whatever you want, but you need to plan. You need to write down on an index card or whatever. These are the major points I want to cover in my live stream. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and whatever. And then you look at it as a guide and talk about it. Now, there are going to be people to throw you off. And that's in real life. Comedians have hecklers. What do the comedians do? They either ignore or they throw it back at them. Like, they turn it around and make it a joke. Oh, you want to be a part of my act? Blah, blah, blah. And they bring the laughter around from them to that person. So that's kind of like what you have to do in live streaming. Now, I'm not talking about harassment or, serious crimes. That can be reported, and you should report it because every platform has tools for reporting. I'm talking about someone who will come on and say, "Oh, well, you look like a milk dud," or, "Oh, what, show me whatever." So they're there to throw you off. So you have to say, "I'm here for a purpose. I'm going to continue that purpose to the end, and there's going to be people throwing tomatoes at you. So you got to dodge the tomatoes. Say what you got to say and dodge the tomatoes."
Right.
So ignore them.
So you have to be ready for prime time.
Yes.
Pretty much. You need and get your mind ready for prime time.
Try to be unflappable online.
Right.
And like I said, if it's a serious thing like a hate word, or there's things in everybody's culture. If you call them that word, that should be reported. I'm talking about people that are there, trolls, just to call you out, call you a name, talk about your appearance or whatever. That's not your audience. You talk to the audience. You talk to the people that want to know about the topic you're presenting. The people that are throwing tomatoes and boo and hiss and all, just think about, I have to focus on the people that really need the content. And everybody out, like I said, everybody's not your audience. You got to get that out of your mind. Everybody's not your customer. Everybody is not in your audience. So let the what is it? The wheat fall from the chaff, fall from the wheat, or the wheat fall from the chaff. You got to separate all of that, let it fall off, because you're here to present information like we're doing the show right now. If we're on YouTube or Periscope and somebody comes on and says something, if it's something lightweight, we're going to ignore it because you don't matter. You're not our audience. Our audience will come here and have conversations with us and communicate with us and chat with us and put in questions, thoughts, valid opinions. So those are the people that we care about. The ones that are, I call them sitting in their mom's basement typing on, saying horrible things to trolls. Forget them. Now, some people have problems with that, and that's okay. So that means that if you can't get thicken up your skin or get a tough skin, then don't do it. And it comes with practice. You're not going to get on day one and know how to handle the trolls and the negativity. You're not going to know how to do it. So the first couple of times, don't let that throw you. You just have to practice it until you get to the point where, okay, yeah, you said whatever, continuing on. So say in your mind, continuing on. Look at what the comment is. If it's something serious, try to say, hold on, guys, I have to take care of a problem in the comments, and report that person. And then, okay, I'm back now. Let's continue. Where was I? And you keep going.
Right. And Mark is saying everyone needs my content. They just don't know it yet.
They do.
They do. And Alfredo is saying that his content is figuring out solutions.
There you go.
Right. This is good. Now, today is Friday, and we have been talking about this all week, that if somebody wanted to join in and talk some tech stuff too, not deep, okay, because Alfredo can take us there with the real techie tech stuff. But we're talking about tech in English. And if you have something that you'd like to share, let us know, and we will send you the link so that you can join in the conversation.
Yes.
But while we're looking that up and waiting on, for somebody to let us know what's happening in the world of Facebook.
Well, with Facebook, let me see. I was going to start with something else because I haven't heard any. Well, there's some news about Facebook. They were up before Congress, and it's all about the Libra, the Bitcoin thing. So that is kind of going on. Let me see. Did I have one? I think I had something.
But you can go ahead with whatever you had set up already.
I saw something about Facebook, but it wasn't like the big news. Like the big news in social media this week is the Face app. Have you heard of the stories?
Somebody said something about Face app. Please do enlighten us.
Okay, so Face app, and let me get mine because I want to get the facts. It's not a new app. But if you've been on Instagram and they share the photos to Twitter, and this again is the young kids are doing this. This is an app that's called Face app, and when you download it, you take a picture of yourself, and there are filters that will turn you old. And young and baby, whatever. So you can change, you take a photo, it takes a photo of you and it applies a filter to make you seem old. So people have been having fun with this, posting the photos. Here I am today, and this is what I'm going to look like when I'm old. Some of them are hilarious, and some of them, so they're having fun with it. But the app is not new. It's been around, I think, since 2017, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here it is. It says it first became popular in 2017. It uses artificial intelligence to alter people's faces using a variety of filters. Photos added to Face app are uploaded to a server for processing before being sent down to the user. So now what it is that it's the terms of service that people are concerned about. So the company said the data could be retained to comply with certain legal obligations, and there's no limit on how long the data can be kept. And so people are upset about the privacy policy, and it's a Russian company. So it's a Russian company.
That's what it was.
Yes. It's a Russian company.
That's why they're having an issue.
Right. So what it is that the Face app's privacy policy states that all information collected by the app can be stored and transferred to whichever countries Face app and its affiliates operate from. This means user photos and app data can be stored in Russia, the country where the app's development team is based. But TechCrunch is saying that Face app is using American servers, Google and Amazon, that S3 AWS cloud-based servers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. So people are upset because it's a Russian company, and then you have the the Face app privacy policy that says once you upload a photo to them, they can use it any way they want to. Okay. The problem is that you can upload any photo. So people have been doing celebrities, like taking celebrity photos, putting the filter on, and then uploading it to Face app, putting the filter on, and then sharing it with everybody else without the celebrity's permission.
Okay, see,
you can take anybody's photo.
Well, here's my concern. I guess, the internet is just the internet, but the ability to take someone's photo. We just had the announcement about Samsung and Sprint having their data breached for Samsung. So now you got the identity, and you got a picture, and you got an ID. You know what I mean? And people are just roaming the planet as whomever they want. It's stunning. But then I guess too, you could snag a picture. So,
well, you can do what you do in Face app, you can do in Snapchat now. You can take a photo of a celebrity in Snapchat, because there's a filter in there that lets you put the filter on the celebrity. Mm-hmm. But the argument is, why are you upset with Face app policy when Facebook has privacy issues, Snapchat has privacy issues, Google has it, Amazon, so they're saying TikTok, everything you use has rights to, at some extent, to use your information, but they will tell you. So that's the other argument. People are like, well, what you upset with Face app for? Because you give your permission to all the other apps.
Mm-hmm. So is it just that they're insulted because they didn't ask them?
Well, it's multi-layered. It's a Russian company.
Okay, so that's strike one.
That's strike one, because guess what? The atmosphere we're in, going back to the election. Remember, Russia hacked us and all that. Well, not hacked, but they did propaganda stuff to sway people's vote or view to one thing that was disingenuous and wasn't true. So they what they call them, bad actors or something. So they were pretending to be like an American pack or a group of people, the packs and stuff. But in reality, it was a Russian troll farm in Russia. So that's the thing. So now that's a trigger word. It's Russian. It's from Russia. Ooh, because they have their way of doing things is different from America. So they feel like, hey, let's get Americans to download this app as a Trojan horse, because you don't have to, but there's a pop-up that says give us access to your photos. I said I installed it because I wanted to see. So I said, no, you can't have access to my photos, but people will say yes. Mm-hmm. You always kind of answer yes to that when they say,
if you want to use it.
Right. We need access to your photos on your phone. Everybody says yes. Mm-hmm. So I said no, and it was like, okay, but it let me use the app. So I took a selfie and I looked at their settings and I made it old and young and whatever. and then I deleted it because I'm like, I don't need to use this because it's not anything I want to use. If I wanted to play with filters, I have filters in Instagram. You have filters in Facebook. You have filters in Snapchat. There's plenty to play with there. So I don't want to, and I don't want to install another app.
I think the thing that made me remember this article was my eyebrow went up when it said it was a Russian-based.
Yes, you should. Your eyebrow should go up. As Americans, we need to say, okay, there's a political side and then the practical side. They're using servers in Russia. You don't know what they're doing once it gets uploaded to the Russian server. They're saying what they're going to do. Saying and doing is two different things.
So
I saw that then the guy from the journalist, the editor from Wired magazine was on CBS News, and he explained it that the photo gets uploaded to their server. They apply the filter, but it comes back to the American server, which we're connected to, the Google and the Amazon. But it has to go to the Russian server to get the filter put on. And they're saying, oh, the likelihood of anything happening slim. I'm like, the likelihood. What happened with WhatsApp? WhatsApp was hacked, and they were like, okay, if you've got WhatsApp installed and you never used it, you're still vulnerable to the hacking. So I deleted it because I'm like, I don't use WhatsApp. So I tried Face app. Yeah, okay. The kids, it's a kid thing. They're loving it online. I was like, okay, this is cool, whatever, and I deleted it.
Well, okay, now my question becomes, if your kids are using it, and your accounts are connected, they're sending it to Russia, and then it's coming back. When it goes through the Russian server, they can use it any way they want once they have it. Is that what I understand?
Well, no, they're not keeping it. It's just going up for processing. It's like a balloon that goes up and comes back down. Now, if your kids are using it, you should already be talking to your guy. I talked to my daughter about installing apps. I need to see what she's installing first. And if they're going to install it, don't let them have access to your photos. Have them use it, make a couple of photos and delete it, because you can save the photo. Do the filter, upload it, save it, and delete the app. I mean, you're paying the bill.
Okay.
They're paying the bill for their cell service. Let them do whatever they want.
It says we have Mark saying Russia can have my face, but I'm not advancing my age for anyone. And he's also said his hair and makeup did not show up, so he has to remain in the shadows for today. And I think that's because whatever I'm on Restream right here, because we're using Restream, it's not letting us see a whole lot of. I don't
bring up Pat's comment. Is the face or can I?
Yeah,
do
I'm
it?
coming down to that one. This one.
Yeah.
The Facebook app employed to get everyone's face recorded and filed
We
away.
don't know. But I did hear of another app that was doing that. That they had access to your photos on your phone, and they were face scanning them for some program. I have to look it up. It was I saw it maybe a month or two ago. It was some app that was doing that. That was, and it was in the terms of service, but nobody reads the terms of service.
No, we don't.
I do.
I don't.
I glance, but I don't read it.
I
average person do not. They don't.
And you just say yes because you want to play with the
right.
toy.
You say, can we have access to your photo album, your photos? You say yes, and that's all it is. So when they contacted the company, I'm gonna have to research the story, but the company said, well, it's in the term, it's there. We're not doing anything wrong. If you agreed to XYZ, then you agreed to what we were doing. And it's not like they were doing it like in a bad way, nefarious. It was that they were scanning all the photos for their other program, which was some kind of face recognition program for not military, for the police and stuff.
Right.
I'm gonna have to find the story. I heard about it like last month.
So I'm gonna go down a rabbit trail.
Yeah, go ahead.
On Terry's thing. I'm gonna put Carlos' comment up first.
Yeah.
We use so many apps that take our pictures. Snapchat is a massive culprit.
Right. That was one of the arguments, saying why be mad at the one app? Be mad at all of them. That was the argument.
Because they ain't in Russia.
And Alfredo is saying cybersecurity is a raising field. Yes, it's coming on.
It's one
Carla
to get
said
into.
Snapchat lies by saying it removes the images, but it has all the images that was ever sent.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and then we have Mr. Funny. I'm actually a Russian bot with no ambition.
I'm not going to tell Mark. We told Mark that he needs a YouTube channel. He's
well,
got.
I saw something over on Facebook, and he's doing something with that in mind. He said, "Follow me over on Facebook," and not on Facebook, on Twitter. I saw him put something over on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
What's Mark's Twitter handle? Mark Ward. I'm going to follow him.
I don't think it would. It was
Mark,
something else. I gotta look
Mark
at it.
He can put it in. Mark, put it in.
Yeah, put it in the chat, Mark, so we can follow you over there.
See, put it in the chat, Mark. Okay, yeah. So back to
So okay, what was it?
Carlos has a comment too.
2 phones, one for business and one for cybersecurity.
Very smart. Very smart. The editor from Wired, he tested the Face app with a burner. He had a burner phone, so he didn't use his personal phone. He used another phone just to be safe. So that tells you a lot right there. Someone who's a tech expert or whatever, he's like, he didn't even install it on his phone that he uses for work or whatever. He had a burner phone and installed it on that because he didn't want to, you don't want to take the chance. But my point is that everybody is taking the chance every day with all of the apps. There's some level with each app, but I'm looking at it as, okay, this is Russia. So that's why there's the whole heightened sense of, not security, but whatever about this app and using it, that has been on the news all week. They've been talking about it all week, but the kids are using it and they're just like, whatever.
Well, I don't think there is a such thing as cybersecurity. I think the only thing that can combat cybersecurity at this point is some old school stuff like landlines and stupid stuff people don't use anymore. Cassette tapes.
Not saying something.
But we're not going back to wired.
I'm just saying to you, it will be the only secure stuff left because nobody will have it.
But see, my point, I've been saying it for a while. I don't know how it's going to happen, but there's going to be some kind of company or process or joint venture between the government and private industry. They're going to have some kind of data clearinghouse for privacy where it had to get the stamp of approval, like the Good Housekeeping Seal, like the James Beard Awards. Whenever when I go shopping, I see James Beard Award on a product, I'm like, and it's something I want, I buy it because I trust that award. Mm-hmm. They give it out for excellence in culinary arts. Mm-hmm. Good Housekeeping, they go through the process of testing. Consumer Reports, they go through the process of testing so you can trust their results. So it's going to be some kind of independent thing. I don't know how it's going to be created or worked, but everything is going to have to go through that data-wise. And if it comes out of the other end with the stamp of approval, then we'll be able to trust it. If it doesn't have that stamp, we're not going to trust it. It's coming soon because you see how the privacy issues, and then we got this stuff with Russian interference with elections and all that, and fake news and this and that. People want an easy thing to look at to say, I trust this.
Yeah, and maybe you should come up with the TJ circle of trust, especially for different apps. Okay. Yeah,
because so I'm going to do that.
Because TJ circle of trust. Okay.
We talked about it on Tuesday about the circle of trust, having a circle of trust.
Right, because there's the TikTok is about ready to annoy me. I was like, okay, because I went over there. Let me see how TikTok works. And okay, we're going to set up the real estate company over there. Let me see how I could use this. Mm-hmm. TikTok is not that user friendly.
No, it's not, because it's something that Gen Y or whatever they're calling themselves, they're using and they love it. They love it the way it is because they're getting on. It's like Vine. They're doing little things like Vine.
It's a playground.
Right. It's a playground. But eventually, if it keeps growing and nothing bad happens like it happened to Facebook, it's going to be where we're going to use it. I give it another year or two. And it's going to be businesses are going to be on. But you have to get on TikTok with a sense of it has to be playful, entertaining, and short.
And it cannot be
eye-catching. It cannot be, well, hi, I'm so and so. You don't do that. It has to be something very, very, very creative.
Right.
Zach King is one to follow. He's the guy that he does those. His videos he jumps in and out of things like magic, and it's all editing. He used to do that on Vine, but now he's on TikTok doing it. He's one to follow if you want to get a sense of how things work on TikTok. He's one to follow, Zach King.
Okay,
And he's older. Like he's like 30. So he's married with kids and stuff, but he has a youthful vibe to everything.
He's 30.
Yes.
Okay, like that is really old.
He's older. He's older. So.
But that's old to the generation on TikTok. That's old.
Right.
To them it's old, but he's kind of like he's past he's gotten over he's over that 30-ish where he's serious family, whatever, but he still has that attitude of making the videos on TikTok and everything that's very creative and very youth oriented. So that's what I mean. Like, you don't want to get on and put a lawyer, or I'm a lawyer and come to Woodward and Bernstein, and they don't do that. That group, they don't appeal. That doesn't appeal to them. It has to be something that gets their attention. That's why kids don't watch TV; they watch YouTube. I was watching the Today Show, and one of the anchors was saying about their kid only watches YouTube. They don't watch TV; they watch YouTube.
Well, Terry, they also had that whole discussion about how Netflix is losing subscribers.
They lost some subscribers. Their stock went down a little bit. They're not out for the count yet, but wait till Disney and Apple, wait till the other
and Marvel and all of these other
HBO and wait till all of those services come out, so we'll see where they are. Yeah, but they have dropped, and that's natural. You can't be on top all the time. You can't be,
Well, and that's why you ride the wave while you can.
Yeah.
So with these little apps coming out, not every app is for you.
That's right.
You got to go explore. Will this enhance my business, or is this going to waste my time? You have to go in there and figure that out. I went back into Snapchat just because I was like, okay, why am I here again?
So let's talk about Snapchat, because here's a misconception. This week, I think it was either last week or this week, Snapchat stock went up. The stock market analysts are very bullish and happy on it because it has some growth. But here's the thing: for if your audience is on Snapchat, you don't get on. I mean, you can use Snapchat as your business, but the magic is in the ads with Snapchat. The ads, not you being on it. Because you'll get a couple of followers and whatever. The magic is in the ads and getting a show on Snapchat. There is, I think, was it Serena? That they made an announcement. Serena Williams and some other people are going to be doing little mini shows on Snapchat.
Wow. Nice.
So it's not in you using it and making an account and like, why aren't the kids following me on our Snap? That's not what you're using it for as a business. You're going to use it for ads. That's where the magic is, ads.
So you're going to have to come in as a marketing
and marketers, ads.
And whereas on Instagram you need to set up an account, and Facebook that's a whole nother thing, but you need to be you. But on Snapchat, you need to come in from a different.
You have to come in as a business running ads, and it has to be creative. So again, that's where you want to think about doing things creatively in a younger mindset, or hiring someone who is in that age group, and because they are tuned into it more than we would be. So as a business, that's what you want to do. Because to learn all of this, on yourself, it would take time. So do you want to take that time I need to figure out Snapchat when there are age appropriate people, young millennials that are business minded, who will say, hey, I can run your Snapchat for you. I can do your ads. I can make your creative media to get the attention from the ad. Because that's where people misconstrue Snapchat. They're always putting it down, saying Snapchat, is that still a thing? Yes. With the 13 to to 25 or whatever, yes, it's a big thing. So if that's your market, that's your audience, and you're the business, think about creatively making ads that get their attention, not being on it and using it to get people, to follow you. You can do that, but that's the long way. You want to go direct to the ads. We are moving, and we have been moving from organic. You can still do organic, but it doesn't work as much as it did before 5 years ago. So as a business, we need to start thinking about ads, and you don't have to break the bank. You don't have to break the bank. It doesn't have to be thousands. You want to start slow and small, gauge the analytics. That's what they're there for. See if it's worth your while to ramp up the ads or hire someone who has the knowledge to get you the results, and you pay them, and you go about your business within your business. That's how it works. Organic, I've been saying, is slowly. It's like 1%. It's almost less than 1% return, especially on Facebook. So you got to start thinking ads. Ads are big with Snapchat because of the stories. Ads are really big on Instagram with the stories. So stories are the biggest thing because they get the attention. But you got to figure it out, or pay someone who already knows how to do it, and you pay them. What's wrong with paying someone for their knowledge, for their expertise? I don't get that. I mean, just a little bit. I have a client right now, like I said maybe last week, that I've been going through because someone else did their website, ripped them off, and now they came to me to fix it. And I've been racking my brain trying to fix it, and now it's unfixable. So now we gotta raise that house. We gotta bulldoze her house, and we gotta start from scratch. And she's saying, okay, do that. I'm willing to pay that for my business, instead of saying I can't afford that. You have to start off the way you're going to go. If you got to spend money, spend it. That's my brand.
Because I don't know where the idea of when you decided to create a business that you wasn't supposed to spend no money.
I don't know where does it come from.
I don't know where they came from. Maybe because they thought the internet was free or very low cost, so that people were thinking they don't need to pay. But you need to pay people for their services. You pay people for stuff you don't know.
You pay the plumber when he comes. You pay the electrician. You pay the decorator. You have a new house. You want a nice house. You don't want to decorate yourself. You hire somebody to do it, right? Why can't you hire someone to say, my business website, it needs to be professional and top notch. I want to start off with not the best of the best, but I don't want to start off free or low cost. You don't want to do that. Not with a business. Not with a business. That's what we talked about last week about the business website.
Right.
It's you online. So do you go to I don't want to say low end, but a store that's that, or do you want to go to Saks or Nordstrom? Do you want to have that look, or do you want to have a Chanel look? There's different looks, just like with fashion. And Terry can talk about that. The different styles, the fabrics. You have the cheaper fabrics, and what do they look like? The cheaper fabrics. They don't look great, right?
Yep, they don't feel good either.
Right, but when you want to look good, you get that Italian silk. Right?
Exactly.
So that has to be explained. So when I had my client here, I had to tell her, listen, I tried to give you what you wanted. I can't build that house with the tools that you gave me. So we're going to have to start off building a new house with the tools that I have that are professional tools versus the tools that whoever that did it for you and they messed it up for you and left you with this broken house. That's got to go in the garbage heap. So, and you have to pay for that.
Here's Mark. People try to drain my brain for free all the time. One of the hardest lessons for me was creating boundaries. Yes, I want to help, and I have to pay my bills just like you.
Yes, that's what you say. Yeah. That's what you say. That's what you say. So when my client that I have now came to me, I said, okay, we're going to have an initial talk. I need to know what you need. And then I got a good idea what she wanted. And then we talked about it. And I said, well, before we go any further, there's a fee that has to be paid. And I will deduct it from the total cost of the project. Now, when I get to that point and somebody says no, then that's somebody I go, okay, bye. Have a good life. But if they say yes, then I said, okay, now we can go forward. And then I give you the breakdown. I give you the scope of work for the project. And I say everything that's going to be done with the exact cost. And we agree on it. After we agree on it, if you come back and say, well, I want something different. Well, that's another scope of work. And I got to give you another fee. In this case, this is what's happening. So when I meet resistance, I know I can't spend any more time on it because you're giving me resistance. But if I have a client like this one, she said, okay, whatever it costs is my business. That tells me you're in the right mindset. I'm not going to cheat you or anything. I'm going to give you what you want, a professional looking website. And you have to understand that this is the cost. So that's how you do it.
In the real estate industry, when people do that, it's called a change order. And they're not cheap.
Yeah, they'll come after the fact. Yeah, they'll come after the fact trying to get more out of you when you already agreed on a price. And it's up to you to say no.
Right.
And tell them up front what's in this scope of work, this project that I'm sending you, this list of tasks and fees. When you agree to it, that's it. When you come with more changes, that's another scope of work project.
Exactly.
You have to tell them that. Otherwise, they'll come back and you'll be fixing things 10 times. Oh, can you fix this? Oh, I don't like that. Can you change the color? You can't do that.
Especially in graphic design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got 3 revisions and that's it. I'm not going to be back up in here changing trees and I want tulips now. No,
or shades of color.
Right. And
that's not the right thing. Really, people?
Okay. You gonna do that?
And Mark said, he says, I require a signed letter of agreement and I'm not playing.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Hey, Terrell
said, yes, I always get on at the right time. Thank you, Terrell. So that whole change order and people doing.
Here's Carlos. He's got a suggestion.
Carlos says, I create
a checklist.
The customer signs when they approve a certain milestone. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to.
That makes sense.
You have to put those things in writing. You have to explain how you work to the client or the customer. You have to explain it to them because they'll come after. You'll say it, and they'll come after the fact when everything is done. And say, "Oh, well, I didn't." And I told her at the beginning, it's not. She sent me samples and screenshots. I said, your website isn't going to look like that because that's somebody else's website. Oh, yeah. So then we get to the point. She goes, it doesn't look. I was like, well, this is what I was given. Now we're going to have to start from scratch on a new page if you want something like that.
Well, my question too is, when I have to build a house on top of something, I have to raise the previous house.
Mm-hmm.
Then I need to charge for raising that house, making that website go away.
Yes.
Because you don't know how to make it go.
Right. And I explained that. I said, listen, you giving me, you're saying, look at my website. And I look, it's like a mechanic. You take the car. They don't know anything until they look under the hood. And then they go, oh, well, you need this, that. And they won't know until they look under the hood. So I explained, I don't know what's going on with your website until I look under the hood. And I looked in there and I was like, what kind of, it took me like a week to find. I'm sitting here racking my brains, stressed out. I was like, I had headaches. I had to put it to the side. I was like, I've never seen anything so messed up, a website like that where I could not find the thing that I was looking for because the person put it together like crazy glue.
Tree mechanic.
I think the policy is now, if I'm going to go and help somebody do a website, it's starting from scratch. I'm not working over somebody else's stuff. That is just not going to happen.
And the kicker was the person told her to go to GoDaddy. So now I'm gonna have to instigate a GoDaddy fee. If you come to me with a GoDaddy website, I'm gonna have to add on additional go. I just have to, because they make things difficult for you. She had the wrong plan on GoDaddy. She had the basic plan.
Yes, and see, that's the other thing. I like that, TJ. Let me go into GoDaddy for you, because you will be all tied up in.
I'm not even gonna mess with GoDaddy. I'm not even messing with them.
Here we go. With some clients in the future, I'm going to require them to let me hold their children in an undisclosed location until they pay their balance
in escrow. Escrow account. I'm gonna need an escrow account. I'm just
we want your kids
deposit.
But see, with me, I know where to go. I've code, I've programmed, I know languages, I know where to go. I was like, oh, I can fix that. It's gonna take me 5 minutes. The thing took a week to find out because I was just so frustrated. I was like, what in the heck? So I know where to go and find the thing, there's like a comma missing, or there's a little parentheses. I know how to find that. I've been doing that for years. That's what the government paid me. And when I got her website and I looked at it, I was like, what in the heck?
What I found, when you have those websites that do it for you and they give you the templates and stuff, you cannot go in there and do what you need to do to make it customized.
Right.
It is all locked up. And I'm like, how come I can't change a picture? Or how come I can't change something in here?
I had that problem with her template because the template was upgraded. The template that they put in was upgraded, but her website couldn't be upgraded to the new template. I'm telling you, it was a mess. I've never seen in all my working with code and websites and web. I've never seen something like this, and it just stumped me. But I figured it out, and because I took, I'll walk away from it and go, okay, I got to come back to it because I need a break. And then I came back and I was like, okay, maybe it's that thing there, which it doesn't make sense at all, but it was the thing that I was looking for, because it was just so out of order, out of place. It didn't make any sense. And I'm going, this thing has almost killed me in my brain trying to figure it out. But I'm just saying, and Alfredo says GoDaddy it's not complicated. Alfredo, what GoDaddy does compared to reputable web hosting accounts is they nickel and dime and charge you for extra things. If you go to SiteGround, they don't nickel and dime you. It's all one price, and all of the stuff is included in that price. Yes, SiteGround is more expensive than GoDaddy, but by the time you get GoDaddy, if you get the basic web hosting, the basic WordPress, don't, because you won't be able to do anything with it. You'll have to go back to them and upgrade. That's what they want. They charge you extra for email. They charge you extra for an SSL certificate. All those things, if you go to SiteGround, probably is already included. And they tell you up front what's included. Also, she has a form that needed to send out email from a website. It could not be done with GoDaddy because they have some kind of system where it's locked because of they use Microsoft 360 mail. Or it was just, I'm telling you, it was just so much trouble. And I shouldn't have to call GoDaddy and sit on the phone and ask them to troubleshoot. I can do that myself. If you have a reputable web hosting account with SiteGround, A2 Hosting, Bluehost, Carlos, right? All of those sites, all of those companies have something called a cPanel, and they let you have access to it. GoDaddy does not give you access to cPanel. That is why I do not recommend them at all.
And Mark says, what doesn't kill you makes you.
I'm telling you, I was just like pulling my hair. I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep because the thing bothered me. I could not sleep. I was like, I should be able to. I know it. I can fix this. Why can't I fix it? It's because of the way that this person, whoever it was that did her for free. Well, not for free. No, it was a friend. It was a friend that charged her an extraordinary amount and told her things because she doesn't know. This is another thing. If you have a business, you need a website and you don't know, you gotta find out the minimum before you talk to someone and let them talk you into something and take your money and run, and you got a broken toy. Her website did not work, but the guy got $400 out of her.
Well,
The thing didn't work.
Well, listen, TJ, a lot of times when you buy a car, they tell you if someone else works on it before you bring it to the dealership, then it invalidates the warranty.
Yes, that's why car dealerships do that. That's why mechanics don't do work behind other people. There's there's some people that work on computers and do systems, and they like, I don't work behind other people, because you have to figure out what it is that the person did, and then you have to fix it. And then by the time you waste all that time, you could have done it. I could have been finished and done the new website for her, but I give you what you asked for. You asked me to fix this, and I said I can fix it, but it's unfixable. So now time is wasted. But I'm just saying that you can avoid all that by getting a little bit of knowledge and saying, I want a website. I need to know this, this, and this. Minimum stuff that you can Google, or you can listen to us. You can listen to me. Or you can follow Mayan on Blog 8, or there's a couple other people. And you don't have to like, I don't really understand it, but you got to know it, so you don't have someone come along and tell you they can fix your problem, take your money and run, and you still have a website that doesn't work or is not to your satisfaction. That's my rant. You get to the point where it's like, there's still people that they want to start a business. They don't have any knowledge. They still need to know things. When all of us have moved on to advanced stuff, there are people that are still trying to come on, and there are people that are not on Facebook. There are people that still don't know how to grow their business online. There's still people that aren't on Instagram. So all of those people will still need the knowledge of how to do it.
Right.
So that's what keeps me going. I'm just realizing, like, there's people out there that still are going through the process, and they need to know. And also, the information is already out there online, but it's old. We talked about that too. I said there's people putting information out that's 5-6 years old on SEO and websites, and the process has changed. So you have to keep current. That's why we're here. You have to keep current.
And we go in there, we go and play with apps, and we play with different things so that we can come back and let you know what our experience has been, so that you don't have to waste your time.
I didn't want to preach, Mark.
So that you don't have to waste your valuable time trying to figure it out, and you can just do your business, and we'll just let you know. This is the circle of trust.
Yes.
To take the hassle out of your hassle.
Right. Because I was like, okay, why am I doing TikTok? I went in there on purpose to try and figure it out. I went back on Snapchat to see what, and then I'm glad you explained that we need to come from a different realm on Snapchat.
Yes, Snapchat. And don't get on to be a user, because that doesn't work. I've gone into my groups on Facebook, and I've seen people running businesses. I'm on Snapchat and nobody's following me, and I'm like, you're not supposed to be on for follows. You're supposed to be on for ads, running ads, or doing the local and exactly. If you have a local business, you definitely need to be on there if that's your target market. Now, if your market is 40 and up, 45 and up, Snapchat might not be the best thing to use. You can safely ignore it.
Right.
So that group grows into it.
So this is why we do the Tech Divas Weekly, and we do on Tuesdays with social media and digital marketing with TJ, because there are so many changes that are happening and so many things that we need to get right. And then you don't need to do it all, but you need to figure out which one you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, you have to have a strategy, and the strategy means your plan, that your mix, that you pick a little bit of Instagram, a little bit of Snapchat, or a little bit of LinkedIn, like 20% of this and 30. You have to make that mix to where it's 100% strategy that works for your business. There's a lot of information out there, and people will say, "Oh, I can just go Google it." Well, it may be old information. It may be incorrect information, because the times have changed. You have to make sure that You know your plan, your purpose. Know your purpose first. Know who you're talking to, and then you can make your plan. And then everything you'll save yourself the headache and the stress of why doesn't it work? Why is Snapchat not working for me? Because you have to go on as a business. Businesses run ads.
Right.
Get on to talk to the kids.
And so we play with the technology. Like I got a MacBook Air with a touch thing to get you in the thing. And I'm like, where is the power button on this thing? I'm looking for the power button everywhere. And I'm looking. So you know what I did? I Googled where is the power button for the the power button is where you use your thumb to sign in. That's the power button. And I had no clue because you don't see the little power button.
Boss says, know your purpose. That's where I come in.
Right.
But that's why we talk about that. You know, people say, well, why are you on every day or what? Because you have to be in the spot. You have to be doing the work. You have to be presenting the information, which is what we're doing. We're here and we're making sure that you get what you need to know.
And so one of the things you need to know, like why this broadcast says happy, healthy habits, is because when we did this restreaming, because we're using something called Restream, which allows us to stream to YouTube, Periscope, LinkedIn, and Facebook all at the same time.
Right.
But you have to, before the show airs, you have to go into Restream and change the title.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, and you have to do it before you air. So because we're using StreamYard, I can set everything up on StreamYard and write the titles and all of that.
Right.
Now I have to do one more step, which is a lot easier than me uploading all this to all other channels, but I need to go in and change the titles.
Right. And it's an easy step to do. You just have to remember it. I've done that also. It will keep the last title you put in. So you have to make a note. You know, this is where we have, when you do a live show, you do your list of your checklist. And
the checklist. Yes, that's it. You got to do the checklist. Oh, change Restream. And so we got to do a checklist.
If you add a new tool like Restream, you have to, a couple of times you got to go, oh, I got to put that on my checklist. Because that's happened to me. I was like, why does it say, oh, you got to change the title?
Right.
Restream before you go live. Because you can't do it. You can't do it during. You have to stop, which is something we don't want to do. So
no, but you can go and edit the post in Facebook. You can go edit the post on Facebook. You can go over to YouTube and change it and all of that. Yeah. But it's a hassle, so I have to now put it on the checklist. This has been an awesome conversation, ladies. I want to say thank you to everybody watching live. Alfredo, it's good to hear from you again. Seeing you in the chat. And Mark and people who are watching over on Periscope, YouTube, this has been really good. And we're going to be back on Monday with some great conversation, coffee, thoughts, and conversation. Then TJ is coming back on Tuesday with her Circle of Trust and some more on social media and digital marketing, helping us keep ourselves above water. Yeah. Coach Karen will be back with us on Wednesday, and then we'll be really doing happy, healthy habits on Thursday. So
it's all good.
Yes, it is. And so it's still summer. Have some fun, but get your work done as well.
Stay cool.
You know, TJ, if you missed on Tuesday, she did a really powerful presentation talking about some things that you can be doing for the summer session. You should be riding the coattails.
Oh yeah, you saw what happened with Prime Day. Did you hear about all the news? Prime Day, and I won't say the Prime Day this year was the biggest Prime Day, the biggest sales ever.
Right.
And it's going to be even bigger next year. Now, I was going to put on my website, I will, that I saw NBC.com had a Prime Day ad on their website. Like one of the anchors was like, "Oh, we got new Today mugs. Go to NBCstore.com." So I went to NBCstore.com. The first thing that popped up was, "Oh, you're something about Prime Day." I did a screenshot, but it was something about Prime Day, and you can get in on the Prime Day sales over here. Save 20% on all things in the store. I'm like, look at these guys. NBC,
yeah.
NBC. Getting in on the Prime Day. So that's what it was about getting in on somebody else's, your competitors' sale, their big thing.
They do it all the time here when I do an open house and there's another house in the neighborhood. I'm like, oh, I ain't got to put out that many signs because these people already got signs going out, pointing where I'm going.
That's right. So that's what you do. It makes it easier for you as a business.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's no, what about the ethic? No, it's business. You're just, getting a little, siphoning off a little attention from the big guy. So
it's called being efficient.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
it's strategy.
Mark said thanks, and he's going to the front of his line.
Yes.
Don't forget.
And yep, we are. It's a great Friday. Enjoy it. Enjoy the summer and stay safe wherever you are. And we will see you all next week.
All right. See you later, guys. Don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Bye-bye. See you later, Terry. Bye. Friends.